afternoon, Quilt Roadies. Thanks for stopping by. I have been busy in the Beehive, causing more mess than completion of projects, but in the mess I've discovered a lot of things that I want to get done, so I'm going to share some of that with you. I'm going to have G insert a photo right here. So I have to tell him right here of the tree that I see when I sit at my sewing table right here outside my sewing room. It has been such a joy to watch that tree change colors, and with the backdrop of Scouter's Mountain, you know, which is mostly all that's showing up now are the evergreens. The deciduous trees have all lost their leaves, but this tree in my front yard just brings me such joy. I love living, you know, I grew up in California, in a part of California that was pretty temperate climate. You know, it was coastal, and so we didn't have significant, and I mean significant, change of seasons. And so many years ago when we moved to Oregon, that is one of the things that I have loved the most, is that really hardcore seasonal change. For me, it resets my brain, and I find that at different seasons, more so than even the time change or any of that, I get reset with each changing season. And although I have to say my fall is one of my favorites, and that first snow in winter is always so joyful, pretty much every season brings its beauty, and I enjoy it all. I just enjoy it all. It is a beautiful day today. I just took that photo, so you can tell it's blue sky with scattered clouds and no rain. The roads are dry. We've had rain on and off, but today is a beautiful day, and I decided to enjoy myself a bit, and I knew I was going to be spending the afternoon in the Beehive. So this morning I went to it's like an antique mall, you know, it's one of those places have individual booths that people rent and sell their whatever their antiques or collectibles, and they had their Christmas open house already, and everything was going to be decorated Christmas, and there's no better place to get in the Christmas mood than that Monticello's antique mall. So I decided to just take an hour or so over there and walk around, and then come back here and visit with you and also do some stitching. So please get whatever handwork you have while I am chattering, and I will be stitching also. But what did I find at Monticello's? It was amazing. I didn't go hog wild. It's such a inspiring place. It's such an inspiring place. It's kind of like a you know, there's so many crafty people. There's so many crafty people that it is such a wonderful place to get ideas also. But I ended up buying a couple of little bowls, little wooden bowls. I just thought, oh, they're so sweet. I mean, to have buttons or little pillows, or you know, I don't know. It's just such a wonderful thing. And then I discovered this, which is, I'm going to have to do some research. Maybe some of you know. but I saw this little box, and there's two missing out of there, but it's a little box of red embroidery thread, and it's by the Dexter embroidery, and it's called Turkey Red, and it says assorted sizes 8 to 20, 25 1-gram balls by the Dexter Yarn Company in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. But they are tiny. I mean, they are tiny. You know, they're the size of my fingernail. And, oh yeah, and they are different size threads. So cute. So cute. So I was happy to have discovered that. I received this fabulous gift, which poor Debbie, who sent it to me, was beside herself on whether I got it, and I could go into a novel on the convolutedness of how it arrived to me. But know that, Debbie, know that it was always safe. I just did not realize that it came from you. First of all, I was gone when it came, and then it was like a week or more before I actually had my hands on it because it was being held. And then nowhere on there did it say it was from anyone but the Fat Quarter Shop, and I get things on a not infrequent basis from Fat Quarter Shop through their generosity and associate program, but so I wasn't quite sure what was going on, because usually when it comes to Fat Quarter Shop, it's a communication that we've had, and we hadn't had that. But I got this lovely spooky box, and I've already kind of put things away, but it had a Fat Quarter pack of Halloween fabric. Who doesn't love that? With a pattern to make a quilt with the Fat Quarter pack, a bookmark. I mean, one of my favorite things in the box was this pencil box, of which I'm not sure. I might use this as a thread box. It's so awesome, and it has a magnetic closure. You know, the thing about the Fat Quarter Shop is their products are very well made, and yeah, and it had a bookmark. It's already in a book. So thank you so much, Debbie, and I'm sorry that you worried so much about it getting to me. It did finally make it here. Yeah, I live in a very, very safe area, and I've never even heard of any package surfing going on here, besides the fact that my front door pretty much sits away up from the street, so it's not as convenient for those porch pirates, as they call them. I did win, which, you know, I generally don't anymore enter giveaways. Even if I want it really, really bad, I hold off, you know, but I did not realize that by participating in a stitch along on the Stitch Rodeo or Floss Tube sites, that automatically entered me in a giveaway. I had no idea. I'm participating in what's called the Generations Sal, which is a Twin Peaks pattern, cross-stitch pattern, for those of you who are not familiar with it. And so just by participating in that and hashtagging your photo to it, you're automatically on Stitching with the Sisterlies Floss Tube site entered in a giveaway. I didn't realize that, but you're going to want to go check out Stitching with the Sisterlies, because they both are cross stitchers and quilters, and so I won a gift card and decided that what I really wanted was one of those fabulous floss storage boxes and from the Fat Quarter Shop. This thing is heavy duty. I mean, it doesn't look like much on camera, but it is a heavy duty, well-made box to store floss, especially those flosses that are on spools, wooden spools. And it came packed in a fabulous, the box it came packed in is an awesome box for storage, which I thought was fabulous. But I really decided I wanted this because I did order from a Farm Girl Dry Goods, and I'll put the links for all the places I have been shopping or received things from in the drop-down box. But when Michelle showed the entire collection of Weeks Dye Works Pearl Cotton collection on spools, every color they make, oh yeah, that she herself uses exclusively with her wool projects, I had to have it. And subsequently, I had to have the floss box to store these in because they are amazing. Just another way, you know, I've always used embroidery floss or Baldani, and I still love those, but I thought, what a nice way. These are all variegated. And she has this entire collection on her store, Farm Girl Dry Goods, and I'll put that link down below. So see, one purchase leads to another purchase, doesn't it? I have done a little bit of purchasing. I am going to be slowing down. I do have to shop. I've got almost all my Christmas shopping done, but you know, at the end of the year, especially when it comes to Christmas, I discover projects that I maybe started a year ago that I never got done, and so I'm motivated to get those done, so maybe a little less shopping going on. And then I discover things about my process, which I have come to accept. What I have learned, though, is that just because I think a project is complete, except for one last step, is not necessarily true. Because I tend to jump around quite a bit, I really have to double check everything. And, well, yeah, it's still good. It's still good. But while I was on Instagram, one of I'm a long time follower of hers. If you're on Instagram, you can go to the Raspberry Rabbit, and I'll put that link below. Michelle is a very beautifully talented embroiderer and creator and designer, and I just, you know, and she's about as sweet as they come. She's all about, you know how like there's dog people and there's cat people. She is a bunny person. And that's the thing for me, is that I get attracted to the things that people love that I can't do. So like for Farm Girl, it's all about Henry and the goats and the chickens, and you know, I love seeing what other people's dogs are up to. Currently we are petless, so it makes me very much attracted, but I've always been fascinated by Michelle's bunnies. She has bunnies as pets in her house, and she has a lovely, lovely home, and it's so sweet. The bunnies are so sweet. So hence, her business is called the Raspberry Rabbits. But with my plan Did someone say that out loud? Oh my gosh, Anna's got a plan. To stay ahead of the holiday, I saw something on her site for sale that I thought that could be my January start for Valentine's Day, because it was just so sweet. And so I ordered from her number 3 in the Seeds of Love series, A Token of My Love. And it is an embroidery project. It's fully kitted, so it came with the Valdani, and oh, it's a lovely color, and green ginger tea. And this is and it comes pre-printed on the linen, so I'm just going to show you a portion of it. So see, it's already pre-printed on the linen, which means that it's a no-brainer. She gives you instructions on how to, the embroidery stitches, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to getting started on this, because it's so nice to know that you have something for Valentine's Day. Yeah. Oh, that paper smells like the tea. So I will put the link to her website, because you are definitely going to want to check that out. And I love that it's already pre-printed, because that's one less step for me. That's one less step. I'm used to tracing my embroidery on using my light from Miso, my light table from Miso. But this was just fun to know that it's already printed on there. Yeah. Okay. And then my last purchase this week was a journal. Now, I've been struggling. I try to keep a journal in cross stitch, and I haven't been, in fact, I'm not a very successful journaler, period. But I'm going to try the proverbial word, try, to journal life in general and see how that works. Because I find that because I'm inconsistent with journaling, and there's so many things in life I love, so if I'm doing just a stitch journal and I don't keep it up, I feel bad about it, and then it doesn't look like I got anything done, when in fact I actually was crafting more, or I was quilting more, or I was hiking more. You know, life isn't about one thing, and I guess I wanted to get more focus for my life. And this journal does scare me a little, because it really challenges you to think about what you want. And it is Oprah's The Life You Want Planner. And so it came in the mail. And I'm thinking that I might make a little flat fold cross stitch or something for the front of it. But I've been reading the first few pages, and there's no dates in it. That alone felt good, because You don't have to consistently do it every day where you feel bad that you missed a week, or so you could put the date down and just fill in, and it prompts you occasionally in different sections with what your intentions are, what your plans are, how you're feeling. And I really wanted to embrace the totality of what I love and what I want out of my life. It is the one I get. And here it is. Your life is always speaking to you. The fundamental spiritual question is, will you listen? So I'm going to give it a commitment. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it a commitment. As I was, if you read my blog, you will know that this project has been eye-opening for me. This is, I'm working on the sashing. And I thought I just had a few things left on each sashing, but it turned out that I had quite a bit on each sashing that needed to be done. And then when I looked at the other blocks, which I thought were all completed, I realized that I had skipped all over the place. It's like I was stitching away on something and then got intrigued by another block, or another block came in, because I originally was doing this as a block of the month. So then maybe the next one came in, and so I stopped this one because I thought it was all done, but in fact it wasn't. And so I still have quite a bit of stitching to do on this project. So I have readjusted my completion date to possibly January, because there's a little bit on every single block to do. But I'm going to keep it up on my design wall, and so it reminds me of what I have to do. Yeah. But at least these 4 sashing blocks are going to be completely done. Then I can move back to the other ones, and what's missing on the other ones is little embellishment stitches. It's kind of interesting how that happened. That little ADHD brain of mine must have been in full mode. It's kind of like this project. I went to, G told me if it makes me happy, I should decorate the bedroom and our bedding for Christmas. Because I was telling him, I said, I saw some Christmas bedding, and I know that I cannot make a Christmas quilt in 2 weeks. I do recognize my limitations, but I do want something festive in our bedroom. And he said, well, just go and look what they have. So I went to Macy's, and they were having their pre Black Friday sale, so 65%. Well, I am here to tell you 65% off of $1 gazillion is still real expensive. But I found some duvet cover for my down comforter, so that will, cheer things up, and some shams. But the decorative pillows, I was looking at the decorative pillows that they had. In their Christmas, they say ho, 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 or they have stockings on them. And they're very cheerful. They were like, and you're talking decorative pillows, not like big pillows. They were like $80 and $90 a piece. And I was like, holy moly, that is just ridiculous. I mean, I literally can't get out of the grocery store for under $100 anymore. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I said, I know that I can make Christmas pillows. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And then I remembered that I had this one, which I thought in my mind, this giant pillow was all done. And I said, so all I need is a backing. And then I thought, I'm going to try to make piping for it. And so when I took it down to think about how I was going to do the backing and the piping, I noticed everything was tacked down. Yes, everything was buttonhole stitched. But look at, the reindeer and Santa has no reins, so I have to do something there. I have to put a snowflake or something on to dot the eye. So that's the thing, is that sometimes I'll get going and then think I'm done, and I'm really not. But I'm very excited about getting this one done. So I went to the fabric store and found some, not the exact check backing, but something similar. And I have a backing for it, and so I'm going to be making that pillow for my bed. And while I was rooting around for things that needed to be done, I found this project. Which I thought was all at the stage where all I had to do was put the back on, but now I realize that this is that. Isn't that adorable? This is All Through the Night by Bonnie Sullivan, and it's a banner. And I have all of the banners basically stitched, but I have to put the buttons on it. And then when I looked at the instructions, I realized that she actually, like, even though it's pre-printed, you wouldn't have to do it. You could just leave it like this, but she actually embroidered the stems of these. So I think I will do the same thing. And but I never used any of the floss that was in this pack because I used my Valdani. I used my Valdani, and here's the whole button pack, and her awesome, I always say that Bonnie makes the most beautiful flannel, and so here's the backing to that. So I've got that on my agenda for this week. Yes, I said this week. So hopefully by the time we meet again, I will have a banner done. Who knows? Who knows? But I love it. And it just so happened that I also brought out some projects that were basically completed. So you see how it goes. I have a lot of basically completed projects, except they weren't put together. So like here's one of Buttermilk Basin's mats. Isn't that cute? But it didn't have the backing on it. And I was just about to do that when I got a message from my friend Audrey, who was wanting to know how to put the backing on her first wool mat, which I was like, come over, because that's exactly what I'm doing at this moment. And she did, and that encouraged me to keep going on that process. So on this one here, I put this fabric on the back, and I do it with soft fuse, and then I'm going to buttonhole all around this edge, and then it'll be done. Right now I am doing the other mat that's done, which is this one. Isn't that cute? So cute. And so I put this fabric on, and now I am currently buttonholing around the edge. My friend Robin, sometimes on these type of mats, she will actually bind them like a quilt, but I like to just buttonhole them. And so I'm about halfway around on this one, and then this one will be done. And won't that feel good for me to have something actually that I finished? Yeah. So what are your plans? I want to be encouraged by others on what their plans for Christmas are. Do you get to do you make, see, this year my gift giving has all been homemade. I've wanted to make things for people. So rather than buy presents for my family, and the gift of time, I guess. The gift of time. I watched this movie a friend recommended to me on Netflix. It was Red, I think it was Red Notice. Red Notice. And it was entertaining. I wouldn't say it was my favorite movie. I mean, for me, the best part of the movie was when my very favorite singer, Ed Sheeran, showed up in a cameo. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But and then last night we watched, oh, and I'm not going to remember the name of this one, but it had Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman and yeah, I can't remember it. It's like these senior citizens who lose their pension, and they decide to rob a bank. And I don't know. I enjoyed that. I think part of it is that I enjoy, because of my age, I enjoy seeing people my age still acting and creating and being funny and yeah. So it gets to be a day where there's no rain, and everybody's out in their yard doing their thing. So boy, the thread gets twisty. So they're out working on their yard and I mean, it's impossible to stay ahead of the leaves. There is just a gazillion leaves. So do you like to stitch ahead of the holiday, or do you not feel the mojo or until, like, do you stitch December projects like in October or November, or do you really have to wait till December? Visiting the antique mall that was all decked out in Christmas really made me get that Christmas, wanting to come home and work on stuff. So it looks like we're going to be having, I think we're going to actually have a family Thanksgiving, which always is interesting. For us, it's mostly about the sides, although my older son and his wife, I'm going to get some turkey for them, but it's mostly about the sides for the rest of us. And it's more about being together, isn't it? It's more about being together. Well, I am just about halfway around, which is awesome. I like to, when I stitch on wool projects, to really to do a whip stitch on the smaller pieces and then a buttonhole on the bigger ones. I don't feel, the small pieces do not really need a buttonhole stitch. It almost crowds the project. Yeah. I got this as a kit. Let's see. I believe this one, I am not actually sure, it's been so long, where I got the kit from. But Buttermilk Basin has a lot of wool kits, and also Primitive Gatherings has a lot of wool kits, as does Farm Girl Dry Goods. Yeah, boy, she's carrying a lot of cool stuff. And when I get to the end of my thread, I just make a knot, and I pull that knot through in between the layers so that it doesn't show on the edge. And then I bury my needle and tug that knot so it gets buried in between the layers. Yeah. There we go. So now I finished one whole thread length, and I'm moving on to the next one. But we're making our way. We're making our way. Well, thanks for stopping by. I would love to hear how you are approaching your Christmas stitching, or what's going on in your stitchy life. And I'll put the links below for the things that that I have purchased. And we'll see you next time around. You guys take care, okay? Love you guys.